This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Trade talks. Canada's premiers gather in Washington, D.C. to push back on U.S. tariffs.
X Factor. Halifax Council debates dropping the social media platform as political tensions rise.
And Community Kitchen. This chef is serving up accessible meals, one plate at a time.
Our messy mix of snow, ice pellets, freezing rain, and rain arrives throughout the day on Thursday, creating for a messy commute. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. We begin south of the border. Premier Tim Houston joined his fellow provincial and territorial leaders in Washington, D.C. today to meet with officials from the Trump administration.
The premier joined the other 12 leaders in an effort to present a united front in a push to try and avert looming tariffs. The CBC's Katie Simpson reports.
Canada's premiers capping their trip to Washington, their trade mission, with some FaceTime at the White House, meeting with some senior staffers as they push Canada's anti-tariff message. That's really been the focus for Canada's premiers over the past couple of days, holding a number of meetings with American lawmakers, particularly some influential Republicans, as well as some business leaders, as they really try to work a coordinated effort to try and convince the Trump administration to steer away from imposing any tariffs on Canada. It was a similar message from Canada's finance minister and Canada's ambassador to the United States. They too held a meeting at the White House today, meeting with Howard Lutnick, who is Donald Trump's incoming Commerce Secretary.
We started the conversation by discussing our shared priorities around border security and the fight against fentanyl. We also discussed, obviously, our concern around steel and aluminum tariffs and the president's comments earlier this week. But we also agreed to continue the conversations and to be in touch over the next number of days.
One thing that Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman, really picked up on is the fact that Americans in this moment, they are aware of some of the frustrations Canadians are feeling in this moment, whether it comes to Donald Trump's comments about Canada becoming the 51st state or the overall threat to the Canadian economy.
Canadians were reacting strongly and in a unified way in the face of a lot of uncertainty coming out of Washington. And I know not just in discussions with the administration, but folks on Capitol Hill, that they have seen this, those who are paying attention to the Canada trade issue. And so my sense is that we didn't need to really, pound the table on that. We can refer to it lightly because it's well understood.
Coming out of these meetings, no one is expecting a breakthrough moment, any sort of a deal to be reached. It's all about the cumulative effect of meeting after meeting after meeting, trying to influence senior officials in the White House to try and convince the president himself to reverse course. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
The Halifax Infirmary will be getting a walk-through metal detector installed later this week. It comes after 3 healthcare workers were attacked in the emergency department last month. 2 of them were stabbed. Nova Scotia Health says the move is all about keeping patients and staff safe. Security began using metal detecting wands at every entrance point at the Halifax Infirmary last week. Nova Scotia Health has also hired extra security recently to address safety concerns. The walk-through metal detector is being installed at the Bell Road entrance to the hospital.
The provincial government has announced 2 new schools for the Halifax area to help deal with the surging population. The schools will be built in Bedford and Dartmouth because those are the 2 regions seeing the most growth. Education Minister Brendan Maguire says they are not replacement buildings, but instead are in addition to existing schools in the region.
What we're seeing is when these schools are opening, a lot of them, especially in the Bedford area, are opening at capacity, and the population is just exploding. More and more people are moving to HRM in different parts of HRM, and we've just got to address that by building more schools.
No decisions have been made yet on what grades are to be covered with the new schools or their locations. Ryan Snoddon with us now to talk weather.
Yes, and messy seems to be the word of the day.
It really best describes Thursday across Nova Scotia. It is going to be a mess. It's going to start as snow, but will then transition to ice pellets and freezing rain, and then eventually over to rain as those temperatures do rise. We're looking at about 1 to 5 centimeters for most of the province. Least amount here in the southwest, and then we'll creep up toward the 5 centimeter mark through central and northeastern areas. And we could get into that 5 to 10 centimeter range. Cobequid Pass up towards Amherst and also across Cape Breton. That's where we could actually push up towards 15 centimeters, and Victoria County and the higher terrain areas of Inverness County could exceed 15 centimeters, maybe get up towards 20, even 25 centimeters up into the highlands. So how does this all time out? Well, it's quiet through Wednesday night. Thursday, we're all going to get to work okay if you're traveling in the morning, that is. Into the afternoon, we're watching that snow spreading in from west to east, and it does look like by the time most of us are heading home on Thursday, we're looking at that snow, the ice pellets, the freezing rain. Now, by 6 o'clock Thursday evening, already starting to transition over to rain. The Tri-County area, western areas of the valley, the South Shore region. But most of us will be looking at that messy mix and these gusty southeast winds as well. That transition will continue through Thursday evening, and this mess will kick out for Friday, but the winds will punch back in from the northwest. Very gusty Friday. Another storm Sunday. Lots to talk about.
Yes,
you
indeed.
bet. Okay,
Thanks,
Ryan, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, amid a changing relationship between Canada and the U.S., Halifax staff will be looking at whether the municipality should continue using the Elon Musk-owned social media platform X. While many on council say it's time to log off that platform, some have hesitation. The CBC's Luke Ettinger reports.
Halifax Regional Council is asking staff to bring back a report on what deactivating municipal X accounts could look like. The platform, formerly known as Twitter, was purchased by Elon Musk in 2022. The tech billionaire is a vocal supporter of U.S. President Donald Trump. It comes at a time when the president is eyeing Canada as a 51st state.
Seen this platform go downhill over the years since the ownership changed. Less informative, less useful. And the reason for the timing is now is just the alignment of the owner of this platform with the current government in the U.S.
White introduced the motion for the staff report, which passed by a vote of 13-3. Councillor Trish Purdy, not an ex-user, says the move is politically motivated.
If the municipality wants to get off any social media platform and use another one because they think that's where the most people will be serviced, hey, no problem with that, as long as it's not a political statement.
Still, many in Halifax say they've signed off X and want the municipality to do the same.
I think it's valuable to state our values and step away from X.
Just supporting the 1%, maybe it's not something I want to do. But I don't know what the city's view on that is. I feel like we should just be looking out for the 99%.
Even if it costs a little more, we should just get rid of it and use a Canadian platform or anything that works. I'm sure we can find something that works just as well.
The staff report will look at other options to communicate with residents.
They're all owned by, tech billionaires in the States. We don't dive into the ethics of all of them.
Cuddle says there could be an opportunity for a made-in-Halifax solution to communicating with residents. Currently, there is HFX Alert for emergency situations. Councillors say an expansion of that is something they'd like staff to consider if there is a plan to get residents to download an app in an already crowded landscape. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Halifax.
The Halifax Firefighters Union is asking the city to pay for preventative cancer screenings. They brought the request to Halifax's Budget Committee today. The union says members with no symptoms have been denied blood work and other tests through the provincial health system. To bridge that gap, they say private clinics could complete the test for career and volunteer firefighters. The price tag would be about $200,000 a year.
We're coming out of these fires and we smell the smoke coming out of our skin for days afterwards. So it's constantly on my mind. While I'm in the fire, I'm aware of the conditions and I'm also aware of my exposure. So it's something that I think most of us that are informed about the cancer data carry a psychological concern about our wellness.
Marr says research shows firefighters have much higher cancer rates than the general public. The union has asked the province to address the gap, but have not seen any changes yet. All of the country's living former prime ministers are urging Canadians to raise the red maple leaf this weekend. The display of national unity is in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's threats on the country's economy and sovereignty. And I'm here at the flag shop in Dartmouth with Carol Aylard. So business has been pretty busy lately. Tell me about that.
It's been nonstop yesterday and today. It's like Canada Day.
Well, what are the customers telling you when they come into the store?
They're basically saying that they want to support our country. That's going to get me emotional. And it's in response to what our former prime ministers have asked us to do. So, yeah, they want to fly it with pride.
Are they feeling patriotic? Are they feeling upset? What is some of the moods that they're coming in with?
Both very patriotic. Flag Day has not always been a real event, but this year it definitely is. And definitely upset with what is happening politically and wanting to support the country.
Have they given any indication where they plan to fly these flags, on their cars, their homes? Or
everywhere. On their flagpoles, on their decks, flying them in the windows, putting them on garden flagpoles, whatever they have. One of the biggest questions is, how can I put this on my deck? Or how can I fly this from my front door? And yeah. So we've got all sorts of creative ways of flying the flag, even putting it on a stick in a snowbank.
Do you have enough to keep up with demand?
We have got lots of Canada flags. Our seamers have been going crazy sewing all January because it's a slower time for us. So we've been preparing for Canada Day. Little did we know we'd be preparing for Flag Day.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I've worked here for almost 30 years, and I don't ever recall a Flag Day as busy as this.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. And I know you're busy making those flags, so we do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, there is a new way for people to get healthy food in Halifax. If you're on Gottingen Street, you'll see people preparing meals inside what used to be the Nook at Nora Bernard Street.
It is the vision of a Dartmouth chef who's doing it in response to high prices and accessibility of food. Here's a look at what he's doing.
I'm Mark Brand, the founder and chef of Upward Kitchens, both on the West Coast and East Coast. This will be called Upward Kitchens and Cafe at the Nook. And what this will serve as is a food security hub for the neighborhood and for the HRM. And so to de-jargonize that, we will be making frozen meals, 5 or 6 at a time. That's what's happening behind us right now with our shepherd's pot. Those preservative-free, absolutely delicious, never more than $7. We have a hot meal that will be being served every day, as well as 4 different sandwiches and a pastry case full of goodies, and an amazing espresso machine over here. So want you to think of it as a place to access food reasonably for people on a budget. And we also have our token project, which we've been running for 12 years on the West Coast. So we wanted to create something that was dignified, that really encompassed all of the great products here in Nova Scotia and all of our friends who farm and produce, and also created jobs and opportunity for people. So take all of those things and put them together and design for the need of people needing healthy and delicious food.
Hi, I'm Shane Gallagher, a chef at Upward Mobility Kitchens East. I live in the neighborhood and I see that things are getting tighter and tighter and tighter for myself and just for everybody here. I could give a token to somebody and just that means that they're going to get a meal that day. We're going to try and get them into different community centers in the neighborhood. I know the North End Community Health Center right across the street is going to have some.
My name is Charlotte Jewer, and I'm with East Coast Credit Union as the Community Engagement Specialist. And we are the funding partner of Upward Kitchen and Cafe here for the next 5 years. We've heard the call for more responsive programs, tangible impacts for food security, and just that Mark and his vision was just perfect for really getting hands-on and making good, healthy food for those that need it.
There's so much need for people to get good food, not just food. The metrics have always been how many people you can feed, not how many you can feed well. And so we take our skill sets, the team here, our chefs, and figure out how to use the best product that is seasonal to get people nourished.
With the bright lights of Halifax, Ryan will be up next with the full weather forecast. We'll see you after the break.
So much to talk about in the weather forecast tonight. Wow.
Not great fun things to talk about,
No,
but still
messy
lots
stuff.
to talk about.
So much to talk about. None of it really all that great, except for Saturday. Saturday's the crown jewel.
Okay, hang on to
the
that.
7-day forecast. That is definitely, I mean, a lot like today, but a little bit cooler. But today was fantastic.
Wasn't it
The
beautiful?
sun was so nice.
Yeah, really,
we
really
enjoyed
nice. Hope you enjoyed. Have a look at our temperatures out there right now, and you can see we're creeping up in and around the back row Shelburne Point area. We did get to -5 today, but minus double digits in through the north and east. And tonight it is going to be another very cold night ahead of this storm. Winter storm watches in effect for Cape Breton Island. There's also a lace wet wind warning in effect for Thursday night into early Friday morning, where we're going to be seeing some gusts upwards of 130 kilometers per hour there. Special weather statements in effect across the rest of mainland Nova Scotia. Snowfall warnings to our north, and that is where that snow and ice pellet mix will be heaviest. The winter storm watch in effect for Cape Breton with that possibility of reaching 15 centimeters. The greatest chance for that appears to be Inverness, and especially Victoria County in blue here, higher terrain areas of Inverness. That's where we're looking likely to see 20, maybe 25 centimeters of snow, and 1 to 5 centimeters across the rest of the mainland, with that the lesser amounts down toward the south and west, and then getting up towards that 5 centimeter mark the further north east you are. But a healthy, hearty dose of ice pellets and freezing rain as well. There's the storm, and this is going to be bringing some heavy snow to the Great Lakes and the greater Toronto area. 20 centimeters there, that's a big deal for that city. And as we can see, cold air in place. Following this system, we'll drop our temperatures for Friday into Saturday with some very gusty northerly winds as well. Overnight lows tonight are going to be in that -14 to -18 range across most of the province. A little bit milder here down towards the south and west, and -12 to 13 through most of Cape Breton. The winds will be nice and light tonight, and we'll see that clear sky fade away with the increase in clouds through Thursday morning, and then that snow will march in. Looks like the 101, the 102, that central area of the province where so many folks are traveling will get into the snow around lunchtime. If you're traveling on the 103 or out through the valley, be mindful that that snow will begin in the morning. Starting to transition to those ice pellets by lunchtime in through the Tri-County area as well. That snow spreads eastward throughout the afternoon, and that messy mix of snow and ice pellets and freezing rain looking set for most of the central area in the critical 3, 4, 5 p.m. hours, even into 6 p.m. As you can see, the snow continues through the afternoon in Cape Breton. We will start to transition to rain in through the southwest during that drive home, but it will likely, again, it's going to be on top of that ice, and so it's still likely to be quite messy and tricky travel. By Thursday afternoon, temperatures bumping up into the 2 to 4, even 5 and 6 range in through the southwest. The northeast will eventually bump above the freezing mark through Thursday night. Let's have a look into the overnight, and then by Friday morning, northwest to northwest winds ushering in these much cooler temperatures, and the winds are going to be howling on Friday. Really gusty winds, gusting widespread 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, but 80 to 90 possible here in through the south and west. Also along the Northumberland shore into Cape Breton, those winds may exceed 70 to 80 kilometers per hour as well. That'll bring the chance for some onshore flurries, but boy, it is really going to be a biting wind. -4 to -6 the highs on Friday morning. These temperatures will fall into the afternoon. Cape Breton -2 to -3. You'll fall to the -6 to 7 range by the end of the afternoon as well. That cold air in place for Saturday. The winds becoming lighter into the afternoon. Still a bit of a breeze. And then our next storm will roll in. This one, a Texas low, and this will move in with some snow on the leading edge. Once again, transitioning to ice into the afternoon. Excuse me. It does look like the Sunday storm has a greater potential for an extended period of freezing rain than Thursday's storm does. So we'll have more time to dive into that over the next few days, but definitely stay tuned for updates on Sunday as well.
Messy,
Lots to talk
messy,
about.
the right word for sure. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, I Am Canadian. CBC's Jeff Douglas reflects on that famous beer commercial and how it changed his life. Welcome back. It was the year 2000. Canada united behind a character named Joe in a television commercial for Molson Beer. Now, 25 years later, it's become viral again in the wake of a trade war with the U.S.
The man who played Joe, our own Jeff Douglas, talks about how that experience shaped his views of Canada and what he thinks now.
25 years ago, I was the Molson Canadian guy, and that commercial changed my life.
Hey, I'm not a lumberjack or a fur trader, and I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled. And I don't know Jimmy, Sally, or Susie from Canada, although I'm certain they're really, really nice.
I remember when we ultimately we did the test, and then Molson decided, yeah, we're going to do the commercial. And I remember the day we shot the commercial, the VP of marketing at the time for Molson said, you know, we're going to ruin your life with this commercial. Glenn Hunt, who created the spot, he was the director, creative director at Ben Simon, Byrne & Darcy at the time. He said that I was the third person they saw. He said that it was the thank you ad lib at the end, thank you, that made him go, that is the guy. Laurie Estabrooks, who produced the spot, said it was because I had a wicked bad hockey haircut at the time. But the interesting thing about that commercial, and I think a big part of why it landed the way it did, is that it was ready in time for it to go on the wait list for the Oscars, for the Academy Awards that night. And so Molson did a media buy and got on the wait list. Robin Williams was hosting that year. He took the program long, and at a certain point, he did a performance of Blame Canada from South Park.
Now, blame Canada, blame Canada. It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada.
Then they went to commercial break, and the rant came up. It was pure happenstance. Molson decided they wanted to go out and do live performances of this little speech. And so we ended up going out to, I think, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, and then in Toronto, and culminated in a trip across the country on Canada Day, where I started at midnight in St. John's, Newfoundland, and made my way across the country. That tour was the first time I had ever seen Canada. And so that was really an introduction for me to the country, and I met an awful lot of people. And I drank a lot of beer with a lot of Canadians, and it really forged my relationship, I think, with this country and my love for the people of this country. In the year 2000, the feeling of Canadian pride was really high in this country. I got to see that firsthand. I got to see that openness, I guess, of Canadians. It was a remarkable thing to see that no matter how far apart we may be and how different culturally we may be, that at the end of the day, we are still so very, very similar. 2025 is a very different context than 2000. And I think that what we're seeing right now is that when someone outside of the country starts to take aim at us, we can close ranks very quickly. And that sense of identity and pride and love of this place and love of our neighbor comes right back to the fore. It's interesting that before I did this commercial, I had never really thought too much about being Canadian or patriotism, what Canada was. I ended up working for History Television and going into parts of this country in the West Kootenays or Churchill, Manitoba, Norway House, Manitoba, Joa Haven in Iqaluit, places that most Canadians never get to see. meeting the people there, interacting with the people there, staying with the people in those places. Then I came to CBC and ended up having conversations with people across the country and around the world. And this has always led me to consider and reconsider and reevaluate who we are, or at least from my point of view, who we are and what we stand for as a country. And it is interesting for someone who lived the first 27 or 28 years of their life without really thinking about it, what a profound love I've come to have for this country. Not even so much for the country, because the country is sort of a weird esoteric notion for me, but for the people of this country. I know we have been far from perfect, and I know our past has been problematic and violent at times. I believe that we believe in the things we say we believe in. The power of the spot doesn't come from within the spot. It comes from the energy that is attached to the spot by the people who see it and the people who share it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see it come up, because there's something about it that has this quality. And then on another level, it's so far in my past. There's been so much water under the bridge that it's almost like it's someone else who's in it. But I also have to just shake my head and go, Joe, man, they can't kill Joe. Joe will not die. Although he is getting a little older looking, get a few more wrinkles and white hairs.
Coming up, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in Brussels as Canada looks to deepen trade and defense ties with Europe.
And sick season. Why doctors across the country are seeing a spike in flu cases and more severe symptoms. Welcome back. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was in Brussels today, meeting with European Union leaders and the head of NATO.
The visit comes as U.S. President Donald Trump continues to make threats to allies' sovereignty, economy, and defense. Ashley Burke reports.
The Prime Minister meeting with European allies in Brussels as they all face growing threats from Donald Trump.
The story between the European Union and Canada, it is the story of good allies and it is the story of trusted friends. And trust is very much needed in an unpredictable world.
Trudeau's talks included the mutual benefits of trade.
Trade agreements are clearly better than trade tariffs.
Along with tariff threats Trump has mused about annexing Canada, rhetoric Trudeau has said is a real thing.
Let's be very clear. Conversations around a 51st state are a non-starter. It's never going to happen. But we have to take seriously what the president is saying.
Trudeau's defense minister joining him in Brussels, striking a hopeful note with allies about that annexing threat.
I do not believe that represents a real threat to us, but those remarks are disrespectful and concerning.
But from Trump's U.S. Defense Secretary, fresh calls that members like Canada do more and spend much more.
The United States will no longer tolerate an imbalanced relationship which encourages dependency.
And he echoed recent Trump comments that NATO countries should spend 5% of GDP on defense. That's up from the 2% benchmark Canada's yet to hit.
This is something we have taken seriously, and we agree with all our allies, including the United States, that Canada needs to do more. That's why we are doing more.
The defense minister says the U.S. doesn't spend 5% of its GDP on defense and that there will be a discussion at NATO about what the level should be. But for now, he's focused on trying to hit 2% as soon as possible. Canada's official deadline is 2032. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Brussels.
The World Health Organization is warning of serious impact on global health after the Trump administration paused U.S. foreign aid.
In Myanmar, almost 60,000 people, most of them women and children, have been left with no access to life-saving services. And we have limited information about the spread of avian influenza among dairy cattle in the U.S. or human cases.
The UN Health Agency says the move has also affected programs fighting polio, HIV, and other threats. Last month, President Trump ordered the pause shortly after he took office, while the programs are reviewed. Along with the U.S. aid freeze, Trump also moved to withdraw the country from the WHO.
India's Prime Minister meets with Donald Trump tomorrow, aiming, like many world leaders, to stave off U.S. tariffs. But there's a second thorny issue, U.S. deportation flights sending Indian nationals back to their homeland. The CBC's South Asia correspondent, Salima Shivji, reports.
The protests have been loud across India, the fury deep over Indians living illegally in the U.S. deported, handcuffed and shackled. But it's pain and worry that dominates at this home in Punjab. Swarn Singh says they're adjusting to having their only child forced back to India. Akash Deep sent this video to his father from the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is right when he crossed.
The 23-year-old took the infamous illegal donkey route, as it's called, into the United States, and then no word for 12 days, until the family realized their son was deported on an American military plane. We spent so much money, and still my son wasn't able to settle abroad. Our livelihood is gone just like that.
Okay. 2 acres.
Singh shows me what they sold to get their son to the States. Not just land, but buffaloes, jewelry, a tractor. Heavily in debt, even making chai is a chore for Akashdeep's mother. I'm on antidepressants. I can't see how we'll ever repay our loans, Daljit Kaur tells me. With India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Washington to visit his good friend Donald Trump, Singh thinks there's hope for others. Prime Minister Modi needs to tell Trump, stop sending our children back, he says, stop crushing their dreams. It's unlikely on such a tricky issue. India is keen to show the Trump administration they're open to taking back illegal migrants. The goal for New Delhi is to avoid punishing tariffs or a trade war. There's fear here mixed with resignation that the deportations will ramp up, even if Modi and Trump discuss the issue at length. Many here know someone who's taken the illegal route to the United States. At this college, deportation is what many are talking about.
People are so much worried about this as they are afraid of going there.
I think many Indians who are in America illegally will be deported, this student says. The illegal route is a bad idea, he warns. Even as a second military plane full of deportees is expected to land in India as early as this weekend. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Amritsar.
Advocates who support survivors of intimate partner violence in BC are trying to reduce stigma among Black women. They say many Black survivors don't feel comfortable coming forward to their friends and family. As Yasmin Hania reports, those advocates are now working to help them break their silence.
Leslie Ann Paris tears up, remembering her past relationships.
I didn't really think too much about it. Like all the red flags that you see now that are more apparent, I didn't see any of that.
She says she was in a vulnerable place, and after escaping one abusive relationship, she jumped into another.
Our relationship was just like constant, like fighting all the time. Doors were broken. There was one fight that got really bad, and he ended up punching me in my jaw. And yeah, within a month, like I knew that what had happened was wrong and like I needed to get out of there.
While there's limited data in Canada on Black survivors of intimate partner violence, Statistics Canada says Black women face some of the highest domestic violence rates among minority groups, 42% compared to 29% of ethnic minorities. In the U.S., Black women are more than twice as likely than white women to be killed by an intimate partner. Paris says she was ashamed to talk to her mom about abuse because as a Black woman, she felt she always had to put on a brave face.
I don't want her to see me like weak or anything like that. Like I should be strong in these situations.
Advocates say many Black survivors feel that way.
A lot of people just think that we can just take everything, and that's just not true. Everybody has a breaking point.
In a world that often overlooks our pain, Black Women Connect Vancouver and Battered Women's Support Services have launched an awareness campaign, encouraging survivors to break the silence.
I was assaulted, and for so long, I felt like I couldn't tell anyone. But here, I found strength.
Black Women Connect Vancouver holds yoga classes and other events specifically for Black women to help create a safe space.
So many times, especially as Black women, and people don't hear us, they don't see us. So being able to come together is just really important for us to find healing.
Paris, now a wellness guide, leading meditation sessions and sound baths for survivors, says she's gone on a long healing journey.
It took years. I still was bouncing in and out of relationships for a really long time, and I hurt a lot of people along the way as well.
She says she's now in a healthy relationship and hopes all survivors can heal. Yasmin Ranea, CBC News, Vancouver.
Doctors across Canada are racing to treat patients showing up with the flu. Numbers are up across large parts of the country. As Jennifer Yoon explains, it's late in the season, but cases aren't showing any signs of slowing down.
Flu season usually winds down this time of year. But behind these walls in a Niagara, Ontario hospital, the number of flu patients doctors are treating is on the rise.
We haven't seen influenza like this since at least the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic.
We're seeing more beds being occupied. We're seeing more ICU beds needed for flu cases.
Across the country, roughly 1 in 5 flu tests are coming back positive. British Columbia and Quebec are also being hit hard. Quebec reported over 4,600 cases last week, including intensive care treatments for some kids.
This is basically influenza doing what influenza does. It just happens to be that we're seeing a lot of cases right now.
Researchers say this year's flu vaccine is moderately effective, reducing the risk of infection by about half. Plus, they're seeing more cases with worrying variants.
Those variants show some mutations
that are known to facilitate viral escape from immunity. In other words, may be contributing end of season toward greater mismatch with the vaccine.
There's another downside to this relatively late flu season.
Most people get their flu shots early, September, October, November, and you really only get 3 months of really strong protection from symptomatic infection. So when the peak comes later, like February, most people are past that 3 months of protection.
And because the virus hasn't peaked yet, this message from public health officials for those who haven't yet.
It's not too late to get vaccinated.
Experts say a 50% reduction in the chance of getting sick with the flu is better than none at all, especially for those most vulnerable to severe illness, older folks, the very young, and pregnant women. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Auto thefts in Canada are going down. This, according to a new report released today. They are continuing to drop nationally after years of historic highs. Nicole Williams has the details.
So we have in this vehicle, we have this little device.
This Toronto auto shop specializes in installing anti-theft devices, and business is booming.
Our demand definitely increased in the last few years, quite a bit than before.
For years, personal vehicle thefts in Canada have skyrocketed. Losses of some $1.5 billion in 2023 alone.
A lot of customers come over after the insurance is asking them. If not, they're going to increase their price.
But after years of heist hikes, last year thefts went down. New data show a decline of more than 18% nationwide, the largest in Ontario and Quebec.
In 2024 is the first time we've seen a decline in the last 4 years, so it is very promising.
It's in part because of an Ontario Provincial Police task force dedicated to tracking down stolen vehicles, but also because of beefed up security at Canada's borders, notably at the Port of Montreal.
From the Port of Montreal and Ontario-based, they're going to Europe. And then from there, they can go anywhere across Europe.
This inspector says the criminal enterprise is low risk and high reward. Canadian vehicles often worth more in other countries.
It's a very high profit crime that they then use to fuel other crimes, drugs, importation, exportation, firearms trafficking, and in some cases terrorism.
While the law enforcement strategy has made a difference, it's also expensive, and auto thefts remain high.
We still have to get to the prevention phase, making the vehicle harder to steal in the first place, really to have sustained decline in auto theft.
Transport Canada is expected to announce new rules for automakers sometime this year to modernize safety devices designed to stop thieves from being able to drive off. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Toronto.
Hockey players from Team Canada and Team USA are looking forward to facing off Saturday as part of the Four Nations Face-Off.
And as Doug Gallivan reports, the players aren't letting politics distract them.
International best-on-best hockey is back here at the Four Nations Face-Off, and the anticipation is off the charts here at the Bell Centre in Montreal. Now, for many of the players here, this is a first. Canada hasn't iced its best team since 2016, and it's also happening at a moment when tensions between Canada and the United States are high.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into that, but whatever the situation, just incredibly proud to represent my country in a sport that means a lot to a lot of people across the country.
Anthems are to pay respect for the veterans that gave their lives so that we had freedom. So I think that people should respect anthems at all times.
We're both free countries, and I don't like to get political and all and stuff like that. And obviously, you know what's going on outside the game, but everybody has the right to do what they want. And yeah, I guess it's a little unfortunate right now, but it is what it is.
I think the bottom line is that we're all proud to be Canadian, and we're all going to throw that jersey on with pride, and we're going to do our best to make our country proud.
The Americans may have the strongest team on paper at this tournament, so perhaps it's no surprise that they're focusing all their attention on this and nothing off the ice.
That's politics. We're here to play hockey. We're not focused on that. We understand what's going on, but again, our focus is on hockey.
Everybody here is professionals. Everybody here has played in environments that have been hostile before. So Canada's, having played there my whole career, it's, very passionate hockey fans. It's the #1 sport in the country, and you kind of expect that.
They're not going to like us too much, and I think when you're playing the villain a little bit, it feels that much better when you end up winning.
Villains, heroes, politics, national pride, it's all at play here at the Four Nations face-off. Hockey is just a game, but this time it feels like much more is at play. But the time for talk is over now. Where the story goes from here is up to the players on the ice. Douglas Gellivan, CBC News, Montreal.
Canada's main stock index was dragged lower today by losses in energy stocks, while U.S. stock markets were mixed. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to commercial break. How many viewer pics of the sloppy Thursday weather do you think we're going to get?
Not too many, unless it's from maybe inside.
Yeah. Inside looking out for sure, but a little tough to take a picture when the ice pellets are hitting you in the face with the wind, Ice
maybe
pellets.
A picture of the donuts you were showing us yesterday.
Yeah,
that's true.
Not a bad idea.
That's true. And again, back to the donut reference in case you missed it. Ice pellets, more like the sprinkles on the donut. Freezing rain, more like that glaze on the donut, and both problematic. And I think we'll see a healthy dose of both for tomorrow in that 3 to 6 hour period where we're going to transition from the snow to rain. We'll show you the map in just a sec. First, let's zoom in on our viewer picture of the day. Popular spot here, Mahone Bay. Always beautiful. And
that's lovely.
Judy for a walk in the woods.
Maybe some cross-country skiing.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
With a little friend in front there. And thanks to Judy for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. All right, so there's the latest watches and statements. Special weather statement for most. Winter storm watch in effect for Cape Breton. There's also a lace of wet wind warning. And again, this is where we're looking at 1 to 5 centimeters for most of Nova Scotia. So not a whole lot, but just the timing is going to be really problematic for the afternoon drive home, given we'll have the snow and then we'll add the ice pellets and then we'll go to freezing rain. So the roads are just really not going to be pleasant for Thursday afternoon, a real mess. And then we will transition over to rain and drizzle. We are looking at heavier amounts into the highlands of Cape Breton. Let's time out that system one more time. You can see by noon, just pushing into the metro area. Looks like that will then spread eastward by 4 o'clock. And then you can see that messy mix of pink there in the middle. That's where we'll see that hearty dose of both ice pellets and freezing rain, but transitioning to rain. And then Friday, gusty, really gusty and cold.
Hold on tight. All right. Monty, the giant schnauzer, was named Best in Show last night at the Westminster Dog Show in New York.
Monty, who is 5 years old, beat out more than 2,500 dogs from all 50 states, including a whippet named Bourbon, who finished in second place, as well as a Skye Terrier and a popular German Shepherd.
He's the first giant schnauzer ever to win the prize after making it to the finals for the past 2 years. The award is considered the most prestigious prize in the American dog show world.
And he's handsome, too.
Yeah.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.